Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a testing out, trying on makeup from Burlington. So I went to Burlington yesterday and I got some makeup. So I found some pretty good things. I also found that I'm kind of concerned about. I'm kind of nervous, but I didn't get a full face. They didn't have foundation, didn't have concealer. Pretty much complexion products they just didn't have. I got some palettes in here that have like bronzers and blushes, and I got some highlights. I got a highlighter and a highlighter palette. So I'm gonna see, I got an eyeshadow palette, which is, it looks pretty promising, but at the same time it's like, I just don't know. Some of them do smell kind of weird, so I'm kind of like scared for that, but it's not really complexion, so I'm not that worried. But the eye stuff, I'm gonna see if the eye stuff smells weird. I don't really remember it smelling that weird, but something did smell weird for sure. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you're notified when I post my next video. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the Burlington makeup. So I'm going to start off with complexion today. I'm going to do my own foundation, my own concealer, my own setting powder, because I did not find setting powder, did not find foundation, and I did not find concealer. So I'm going to do that, but I did find a sponge, and I think this is like trying to replicate the Juno & Co. microfiber sponge, because it literally says right here that it's a flocked material. It just looks like a velvety type of sponge that, you know, it looks like the Juno & Co. sponge. So I'm not gonna lie, right there, that kind of surprised me. But I'm gonna tell you guys the prices, because I was actually shocked at the prices. All these prices for like everything were very, very low. I think I got all this stuff, I think for like $70. So it was literally so affordable, so good. And I found some pretty good finds. But this sponge is $2.99. And honestly, I already opened it. Feels really, really soft. I'm gonna see how it works when I dampen it, because I don't know how that's gonna go. But I'm gonna wet the sponge and I will be right back. So this is what the sponge looks like now that I wet it. It did grow for sure. I wouldn't say it's comparable to the Juno & Co. sponge, because I feel like the Juno & Co. sponge is a little bit firmer, a little bit more dense. This one's very, very soft. This outer part does definitely feel more fuzzy than the Juno & Co. sponge, but we'll see how it works and see how it applies makeup. It has the same feel of the Juno & Co. sponge when it's damp. It doesn't feel like it's wet, but it is like pretty wet. It's nice and soft though, so I do like that. I'm gonna go ahead and prime using my own primers, because again, I didn't find any of that. So I'm gonna prime. I'll probably speed this up. So I'm gonna take my foundation, I'm gonna dot it all over my face and see how this sponge blends it out. I wanna see if it gives me a pretty good coverage. So I'm gonna take the sponge, I'm gonna take this flat side and see how it blends. But I'm gonna take the extra product that I have on my hand and just coat the sponge with it and just see how it blends my foundation. So right off the bat, I don't think it gives me as much coverage as my Juno & Co. sponge. So I definitely don't think it compares to the Juno & Co. sponge. Like I said, the textures are completely different. The fuzziness is not the same. So, I mean, it's not a bad sponge. If you're at Burlington, use some of these. They're pretty cheap. Like I said, I think they're only $2.99. And they feel really nice. I don't think they... For an affordable sponge, a really affordable sponge, this is not bad at all. I think that's as good as I'm gonna get with the coverage, which like I said is not comparable to the Juno & Co. sponge. I feel like this one absorbs a lot of product as well. Like I could see this whole area right here is like absorbed with my product. So again, not a bad sponge. I'm taking the sponge again and I'm going to blend out my concealer. see. I'm gonna try the back side now, the fluffy side, and see if that takes away less product, because it's this flat top is still fluffy, but it's not as fluffy as the rest of the sponge. I'm gonna see if it works a little bit better. So I think the fluffier side definitely did take away less product. See, it's not as like dark as the flat side. So, I mean, I think next time if I do use this again, I'll just use the fluffy side to blend out my concealer and stuff. I'll probably just ignore the flat side. But overall, I did a pretty good job. Sorry, excuse my nails. I know it looks so ugly, but I have to get them done soon. So I'm going to use my normal setting powders to set my face, and I'll be back with the brows and the rest of my face and the eyeshadow palette. I'm just going to use one powder today to set my whole face. I'm just going to use my Chanel powder because I'm running really low on my CoverFX one and I haven't re-upped on it. Actually, no, I'll use my Fenty powder, the butter powder, underneath my eyes today because I'm running low on my CoverFX one and I need to go buy more. So use the Fenty one today. I still like the Fenty one, but the CoverFX one is just unmatched for me. So I'm gonna use the Fenty one, and this is in the shade Butter. I'm gonna blend out. I'm using the same sponge that I used to blend out everything, only because I didn't buy multiple sponges. They did have multiple sponges, but I didn't buy them because another one because I asked myself, I'm like, oh well, what if I don't like the sponge? I just don't want to keep it around, so I just didn't buy it. So I dabbed most of it underneath my eye, and then whatever I had left, I just kind of dabbed on my eye to kind of set everything on my eye. It sets really nicely with this sponge though, I must say. I forgot how pretty this powder really is. The Fenty loose powder. And the sponge is actually applying the powder really good. I think I am gonna keep this sponge because it's so pretty. Like just how it blended my concealer. The fluffy side works really well. If you do buy this sponge, use the fluffy side and then it'll give you better results than if you use the flat side. And honestly, the whole sponge is fluffy besides this little flat part. And I don't think it's really necessary. You could dab your foundation with the bottom of the sponge and you'll be good. It blends the powder really nice too, because usually with this powder, it takes me a while to blend it out because it is kind of on the thicker side. For the rest of my face, I'm gonna obviously go in with my Chanel loose powder. I like to use a flat side to set my rest of my face, so I'm gonna see how the flat side is with powder. So my verdict on the sponge is that it's actually a really good sponge. For being $2.99, you really can't beat it. And it worked really well. It didn't take away much product when I used the fluffy side, like I said. The flat side actually worked well with pressing in my powder, and I think my face looks pretty set. So I'm gonna refresh my face with the setting spray, and then I'll be back with the brows. For brows, I found this Beauty Cheats Wow Brows Define and Sculpt. And this says, this essential kit contains 6 brow powders, 3 eyebrow creams, 3 stencils, 1 spoolie, and 1 brush. And this is what the inside looks like. And this I got for $7.99, which is actually really good. I'm a little skeptical of these eyebrow tones only because I'm scared they're gonna pull a little bit warm on me. I think I'm gonna use the shade, I think I'm gonna use these two shades right here mixed together. I like the shade Brunette because obviously I'm a brunette. The shade Khaki is a little too gray, so I think mixing the two will give me a good outcome. I'm not gonna use the stencils because I don't really need to. And oh, you know what? I already know it's not gonna work because look how like thick it is. It's a very thick brush, very flimsy. It's not gonna give me the outcome I need, so I'm not gonna use it, unfortunately. So I started swatching these eyebrow creams. They're very waxy. I wouldn't recommend using the eyebrow cream. So for the eyebrow powders, I'm gonna see how they are. I'm gonna see how they feel first. They feel okay. They're very pigmented right off the bat, so you do want to work with the light hand. They are powders, so they're a little bit more forgivable. But me personally, I'm not gonna dip in the creams because that's like a mess waiting to happen. So I'm just gonna brush my brows up, and this is the Anastasia number 12 brush. There's a lot of angled brushes you could use, just like a regular angled brush. You don't need to use one with a spoolie on it. They sell a whole bunch, so just whatever you like using. I like this one. I like this MAC one way more, but I can't find it. Yes, I found it. Okay, yeah, the MAC 263, super good brush. The Anastasia one's a little bit stiffer, which I think might be better if you're like trying to cream more hairs. But the MAC one is really nice. It's really thin, as you can see, and it's stiff, but also very flimsy. So I'm gonna go in with the MAC brush. I'm gonna start off like how I always start off. So far, so good. I'm mostly dipping into the shade Khaki, which is the more cooler type of gray tone, because the brunette tone is a little too dark and it's a little too warm. Okay, so for the front, you want to use a very, very light hand. I used to use powders all the time, but I kind of got over it because it's more time consuming for me to use a powder rather than a pencil. So I don't really use powders anymore. So I kind of just filled in sparse areas. I'm gonna try and spoolie this. So that's the brows so far. It's not too bad. I think I kind of regret not doing my brows first, because I think if I would have cleaned this up, it would have looked a little bit better. But it's not too bad. It's actually pretty decent. So yeah, they actually worked really, really good. The powders, they're not bad at all. I didn't get a brow gel because they didn't have any, so I'll set it with the brow gel and see how it looks then. But I actually am gonna dip into the eyeshadow palette now, so I'm gonna show you guys what I got. I got a few things on the eyes, so I'll show you what I got. So for eyeshadow palette, I found this BB Desert Sand eyeshadow palette. It comes with 35 matte and shimmer eyeshadows. So this palette was $7.99, which super, super good price. This is what the palette looks like inside. A very, very pretty palette, nice and neutral, which is how I like it. You have some shimmers in here, which look really promising to me. And the mattes look really good. I think, is this the one that smells weird? This kind of smells a little weird. You know, like how, like, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but like play makeup when you guys were little. I think that's kind of the smell it's giving me. So I'll see how it is. Also, I forgot to mention, you guys really want to make sure you're following me on Instagram, because I did a giveaway last week, and it was for a Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, pair of lashes, and also a $100 gift card to Ulta. So you guys want to follow me because I'll be doing a monthly giveaway. So follow me on Instagram, and I always post the rules and everything. You must be subscribed to this channel, and you must be following me on Instagram. And there's other rules that you have to follow during when I post the giveaway, but I always post other rules on my Instagram. Instagram is literally the only social platform I have. I have Facebook to like promote my stuff, but I don't use Facebook. So Instagram is literally the only one that I have. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed here. Next giveaway I do, I'll make sure to announce it here as well, so you guys could also see that. So yeah, I have another one coming soon. Probably within the next 2 weeks, I will announce the next giveaway. So yeah, make sure you're following me, and I will get into these eyeshadows now. So what I like about this eyeshadow palette is that it has the names on there, and they look pretty promising. I'm gonna do a pretty neutral look with this. I'm gonna start off pretty lightly. So I'm gonna start with the shade right here, the shade Canyon. And I'm just gonna start off by warming up the crease. I'm gonna take a Sigma E40. Oh, let me show you guys these. So this I got as well. These are the Beauty Treats Chrome Finish Liquid Eyeshadows, which they look so pretty in the box. And the little like lid type of thing, it just looks so pretty. Look at that. And these were $5.99. Really? Come on. They're also cruelty free, so that's pretty promising. Oh, and it tells you the expiration date back here. This one expires on December of 2022, so that's pretty good. Take the Canyon shade, and I'm just gonna run that through my crease. There is kickback in there though, just letting you know. But it definitely did give me a good payoff of color. So that's a really good sign. And you get 35 shades. So that's really, really good for the price. Wow, that's really pretty so far. I didn't know BB made makeup. I honestly never used to really shop there, but didn't know they had makeup, which is really interesting. BB was actually one of the main brands. They had this gorgeous face palette. It had blushes, bronzers, and I think like a couple highlighters, but it was so like shattered. And I was like, wow, like that would have been the perfect face palette. I actually kind of struggled finding a face palette, struggled finding some bronzers. I found highlights, which that wasn't an issue, but the like bronzers and blush, I did have kind of an issue with those, with finding some. So I wish that palette had been broken. You do need to check the makeup though before you buy it, because some of the stuff is like broken inside. So just make sure you open it just to make sure. That goes at any store like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross. You kind of want to like check the stuff before you buy, because it is a discounted store and people kind of go in there and mess around. You know, people are just careless, so you want to make sure. I see the shade Oasis right here, which is that orangey tone. It's a little bit of a deeper orange. I think I'm gonna go for like obviously a more warm tone type of look today. These shadows are actually really, really nice. Like I'm not having any problems with them whatsoever. They don't look chalky at all. They look actually really, really pretty on the eye, and they're just stunning. I'm actually really impressed, and they're blending really well. They are giving me kickback, which is the only issue I've run into so far. But other than that, they're blending really nicely. $7.99 for 35 eyeshadows, like come on. That's really good. Really pretty so far. I'm like really impressed. Like I'm actually kind of shook. So I'm gonna take another brush, a clean brush, and I'm gonna dip into a more deeper tone. I'm gonna dip into the shade Solitary right here and see where that takes me. Still using kind of more so like a fluffy brush. I'm gonna pack it right here on the outer corner. I am kind of getting a little bit of fallout with this shade, but as long as I can brush it off, I don't have an issue. If it streaks, then that'll be a problem. Usually I don't do my eyes last. I usually do them first, especially if I'm doing more of like a heavier look. But today, I don't know why, I just decided to do my face first. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a smaller brush, dip into these deeper shades. I think I'm gonna dip into the shade Tundra right here. Really, really kick back in these shadows, so if you don't like kickback, just warning you right now, they do have kickback. But honestly, like I said again, for the price, it's not that big of a deal for me. And the performance as well, like these are really blending really well. They're actually one of the easiest shadows I've ever worked with, and I know it sounds kind of crazy because it's so affordable, but they really are easy to work with. This is perfect, like a perfect type of palette if you guys are like makeup artists, freelance makeup artists, and you're just starting off, or even if you're just, you know, starting off with makeup in general. This palette is perfect. It's a neutral palette, which is obviously the go-to for if you're really starting off. It's $7.99, so you really can't beat it. And it works beautifully. It's actually a super good palette. I'm really, really impressed. I did not expect it to go the way it did, or the way that it's going right now, and honestly, I can't complain because it's so freaking bomb. I'm glad my friend went with me yesterday, and I was gonna pick another palette, but she told me to pick this one, and I'm so glad she like told me to, because if she wasn't there with me, I would have definitely not chosen this palette. So now I'm gonna dip into that shade Metamorphosis, which is this brown tone right here, and I'm just gonna take that on the same brush that I used on that tundra shade. You guys, this is amazing. Look at how pretty it looks. Like, the blend is there. So now I'm gonna dip into the shimmers just a little bit just to see how they swatch. So I'm gonna take this gold shade. This is shade Border, which is right here. I'm gonna take it on my ring finger and just apply it on the inner portion of my eye and just fix whatever I need to fix with the shadows. So the shimmers are not the best. Actually, the mattes performed a lot better than the shimmers. Usually with shimmers you can apply with your finger and it's a very good payoff, but these aren't that good. They're not paying off the best, but they're still a nice shimmer. They disappear a little bit once like you rub it in to your eye. They're not that visible. So I'm gonna take these Beauty Treats Chrome Finish Liquid Eyeshadows, and these were $5.99 like I've said, and they look really good. This one said it was bronzy, I think, but it doesn't have the shade name on. So this is how. Ooh. Okay, so right off the bat they're very liquidy. It dries down sticky, but they're not. I thought they would be a little bit more pigmented. They say it's a chrome finish, so I don't know about it being a chrome finish. Like I said, they're very liquidy. That's the rose gold shade. It reflects nicely, but on my hand it literally does not look like that at all. And this is the blue shade that it came with. So out of all of them, I think the blue one has the nicest texture. The first two are a little bit liquidy. The blue one is a little bit less liquidy. It's a little bit more thicker. So the blue one's nice, but that's not going to work with my look today. So I'm going to try out the bronzy one, like I said, and see where that takes me. I'm going to put this on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take a flat shader brush, and then I'm going to just pack it on my lid. So this is a Makeup Shack T53. I'm literally packing the shade on the brush just like that and seeing how that works. So it looks really pretty so far. I'm actually really impressed. I didn't think they were gonna look this nice, but they actually look really nice. So I'm gonna dab a little on my eye. I'm just gonna blend it out with my brush. Ooh, that looks really good. So I more so just like dab my brush instead of like doing blending motions. I kind of just tapped my brush over the eye and wherever I placed the product, and then it kind of did the job for me. That looks so pretty. Another jackpot here with the Burlington makeup. I'm actually very, very shocked. Did not expect these to be as good as they are. I'm really, really impressed. So I'm gonna go back into the palette and kind of just blend out the shades a little bit. I'm gonna take the Tundra shade mixed with the Metamorphosis shade and just gonna blend right here where the liquid eyeshadow comes. And I'm gonna a little bit up here just to give a little bit more definition. I'm gonna take the shade Tundra mixed with Metamorphosis, just two darker shades, and I'm just gonna pack that underneath or on my lower lash line. Take a smaller blending brush and dip into that shade Oasis mixed with Solitary, which is one of the two lighter shades that we used. I'm gonna buff this out. So I'm gonna gear away from the eyes really quick. I'm gonna finish the rest of my face. Then I'll show you guys what lashes I got and I will be done. For face, I got a few things, a few different face palettes. I'm not sure which one I'm exactly going to use. So I have this. I have the Goddess by Manna Kadar Sculpt and Illuminate palette, and this is what it looks like inside. This bronzer looks a little bit too warm tone. It looks a little bit too dark. So I don't know how it's gonna work. But I also got this Profusion blush and bronze palette, and I already swatched this highlighter. I'm gonna go in with the shade. Oh, this also has some nice blushes, so I'm gonna use this for blush. I'm gonna go with the shade right here, medium bronzer. It doesn't look too dark. Okay, this is a very dusty bronzer right off the bat. It doesn't really give me much color payoff, I would say, and it's very kickbacky. I'm gonna try out that bronzer in this Goddess palette. And for being a medium bronzer, that's actually pretty light. Very cool tone shade as well, so I would say it's a good contour shade if you're very fair. I'm gonna take this Glimmer, it's called Glimmer. This one's not as nearly as kickbacky as the other one. So I bronzed using both of the bronzers in the Profusion and the Glam Goddess, or this Goddess palette. I wouldn't bother buying those face palettes because they're very patchy. The bronzers are not as nice as you can see, and they're very muddy. So I wouldn't waste my time. I'm gonna try and remedy the bronzer somehow. They don't look that pleasing, but we'll fix that and everything will be fine. For highlighter, I got two highlighters. I got this Way to Glow highlighter palette by Beauty Treats. I don't know how much this one costs because I threw away the box, so I don't know. Oh, this is what smelled like play makeup. So I don't know how these are gonna work because they seem to swatch very kind of chalky. They didn't swatch that good. Some of the shades were fine, but some of them were not. See what I mean? Like they're not that glowy. So I have two options though. I have also this BB Bronze Glow Trio, which this one looks a little bit more promising. So I think I'm gonna dip into that one. I'm gonna take my Morphe M501 and I'm gonna dip into these two shades right here and kind of just see what type of payoff it gives me. Yeah, that's a really, really pretty highlighter. It's very shimmery, I would say, but it's still pretty. It's a shimmer, but it's not really a bam in your face shimmer. It's really pretty. But I don't know if you guys could tell, but like once you scrape kind of like the top off, it doesn't look as shimmery anymore, which is kind of weird. It looks a little dusty, and actually it's not even swatching as shimmery anymore. It's a little bit powdery. That's weird. Like all the glitter was at the top. And I'm just gonna dip into a couple of these, see where it gives me. I think I'm gonna dip into this one mixed with this one just to see. Yeah, these are a little bit more powdery too. They're not as shimmery. I'm gonna dip into this Profusion palette and I'm gonna mix these two bottom shades together and see what I get. They're called Splendid and Bloom. Very chalky and dusty look. Yeah, and the bronzer and the blush aren't mixing well together. I'm gonna take that shimmery shade called Oh La La and kind of just dust this over the apples of my cheeks. Definitely a no-go on either face palette is just a no for me. The bronzer, like I said, super patchy, super ugly. I don't recommend that whatsoever. I would never recommend that palette to anybody. It's just so, I literally feel like I just want to wash my face off. The eyes are fine, but the rest, you know. And look how dusty it got my phone, the blush, because I dusted off the excess. For mascara today, I found the Maybelline Colossal Mascara, and this one actually cost $3.99. I'm gonna just coat my eyes with mascara, then I'm gonna pop on some lashes. I'll show you guys the lashes. Oh, actually, let me show them now so I could cut them. So I found two different ones. These are more so like a doll type of wispy eye. These say that they're dramatic, so I'm hoping that is true. I also found these, which these are more of like a cat eye, which I might do these only because I have like a little cut crease going on without liner, so I might try these. I'm gonna try both of them on my eye to see which one looks better, so I'm gonna take them both out. And both of these were $2.99. I obviously don't think they're gonna be super dramatic because they are $2.99. And usually, like I said before, drugstore lashes, affordable lashes, just don't tickle my pickle. I think I'm gonna go with these. They're a little bit more dramatic. So now I'm gonna coat my lashes with the mascara and see how that goes. I actually used to use this mascara, but I kind of forgot how it is. It's been a minute. While my eyelash glue is drying, I'm actually gonna go in with my lip product. This is the lip product that I found, and this is the Bella Pierre Cosmetics Kiss Proof Slay Transfer Proof Lip Collection, and it's kind of like a lip kit. So it comes with a few things. It comes with a lip liner, a cream lipstick, liquid lipstick, and a lip gloss, I'm guessing. So I got the shade Incognito, which was one of the nude shades that I saw, and this is how the inside looks like, and this was $4.99. So this is what you get, which I think for $4.99 is pretty good. You get a lip liner, a gloss, and a liquid lipstick, and the packaging is actually pretty nice. This is the lip pencil. This is how it looks like. It's a pretty small lip pencil, I would say, but it's creamy, but it's not the creamiest. It's still nice though. This is the liquid lipstick. Feels very velvety. Smells like candy, so that's always good. And then this is the gloss. I mean, it's a clear gloss, I'm assuming, but ew. Okay, no, the gloss I'm definitely not going to use. It feels like literally an oil slick, so I'm not going to use the gloss. But I'm going to pop on my lashes, see if they're dry already. So this is how the lashes look. For being $2.99, these lashes are actually not that bad. I'm gonna start off with my lip liner. I'm gonna sharpen it a little, only because the tip is not the sharpest. It's a little dull. So the shade definitely is a little bit pinky, so not sure how I feel about that. I don't really like pinky type of lipstick. Very peachy, pinky type of look. I don't like that personally. Yeah, it's a very peachy tone. Personally, I don't like these types of shades on me, but this was literally the only option that they had. I think that was this one, or like a really dark one. So I'm gonna set my face, and I will be back with my final thoughts of this Burlington makeup. So this is the final look of my Burlington try-on haul. I had some good, very good luck on this eyeshadow. Honestly, just the eyes in general, I think were a big hit for me today. The lashes, like I said, they worked really well with this eye. The only thing about the lashes that I don't like is the band is a little bit stiff, so it's kind of starting to lift on the inner and outer corners. Like I said, the face, the complexion and stuff, I just would skip out on. Like I said, this bronzer just looks a little bit muddy, a little bit patchy, so I wouldn't recommend the bronzer whatsoever. But the rest of the, like the eyes, the lipstick either, it has like a really weird texture, but everything else worked good. Like I said, I just got an eyeshadow palette, highlighters. Also the highlighters they weren't bad. So the highlighters I think are a go. Eyeshadow palette definitely a go. Those liquid eyeshadows absolutely a go. The brow palette actually was pretty good. I didn't use the creams because I just didn't want to, but it comes with those stencils. The powders worked fine. Again, not my speed because I normally use a brow pencil, but if you guys like want to try brow powders or you use brow powders, I definitely recommend those. They were pretty good, and again, very affordable. But I can't get over this eye look. I think it looks stunning. The lashes are really pretty with the look. The glitter on the eye just looks super good, so definitely recommend the eyes. So basically, I don't recommend the face palettes whatsoever. Just don't even bother with those. Don't bother with the lipstick either. Don't bother with it. Both face palettes, no. Lipstick, no. Everything else is pretty good in my book. The highlighters, like I said, pretty good affordable highlighters. Had no issues with those. The only thing, the BB one was a little bit finicky, only because you like scraped it off. Obviously you like did the first layer of color. It was very super pretty and super shimmery, but then once I went back in, it kind of left like no shimmer at the top, and it was just like powder. So that one, I don't know. The palette I would probably go for. It's obviously more bang for your buck. You get like, how many was that? I think like 8 or 10 highlights in one palette, and they were pretty good. Only 2 of them, I swatched them all, only 2 of them I didn't like, so 8 out of 10. That's still pretty good. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments if you guys want me to try on makeup from any other store, what types of stores would you like me to get makeup from? I actually went to Target the other day and I found some new makeup from a new makeup brand that I saw at Target. I've never seen it before. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, ring the notification bell so you're notified when I post my next video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!